forgot. And I'm living here at Alagoas in the city of São Miguel dos Milagres. Today it is a rainy day. My grass is wet here, and I am a fashion designer by formation, but I'm working as a product manager nowadays. I have six cats, and I'm living with my wife here. That's it.
All right. And why did you change your career? Because it's a big change, from fashion designer to product manager.
Yeah, it's a huge change. I think I I did a lot of change in my career. I work with a fashion designer in my early years, then I moved to a seller, then I moved to work with education, then I moved to work with technology. But there is a specific reason that made me do this change. I have a chronic disease that affects my coordination, I don't know how to say that in English, but I have arthritis. So it's very difficult. When I was getting old, it became very difficult for me do manual things. So I lost I don't know the name for that in English, but manejo fino will be in Portuguese.
Would
So
be the precision of your hand or something? A
yeah,
precisão? Yeah.
yeah, would be that. So I was starting thinking, oh my God, I want to be able to do that in my old years. So I must to find another way to get money.
Money, money, money. All right. That's really interesting. And I don't know anyone who had this kind of disease, but I read listed that I think in Portuguese is artrite, yeah.
Yeah.
But I hopefully I don't know how to say that in English, but espero que você esteja bem. I hope you are well or okay or something like that.
Now I am.
Okay, okay. And what about you, Amanda? Can you talk a little bit about you? I already know you, but it's always a pleasure talk with you. Please go on.
Thank you. Good morning. Well, it's always a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to be here in this group because I'm around three nice hosts. I participate in
Yeah.
all of you guys' classes. It's
All
nice,
right.
like friends. So, well, I live here in Januária, Minas Gerais. I'm married. I have one son. Now I have two dogs because my lovely husband just bring a new dog. He just rescued one dog from the street, and now I have two to take care. And it's a challenge
Yeah.
because they are street dogs, and their behavior is like a disaster. Like I can say, Tatiana daughter. It's like a Tasmania in my garden. And I'm just changing career like Aline. I changed from other career totally different. Now I start technology. I'm studying analysis and system development. And let's see what the future deserves for me. Let's see.
Yeah.
That's it.
Uh, it will be a good future, but talking about dogs, um, I only I don't have words to to, express my feelings about that. I was shocked, but uh, you had to think in the better way. Your husband is a good guy. He's trying to
Hmm.
help dogs. Dogs is more important than your garden and your grass, and
But I'm the
maybe.
one who needs to take care of the dog. That's the thing. He took the dog and just put it here. So now it's my responsibility, like the other
Uh,
ones. Like that's the
yeah.
thing.
No, no, don't think this way. Think you are making a good to someone, yeah, and helping someone. All right, girls. As I say, yeah, Aline say your husband is a good person. Yeah. So, as I say, we are here to talk about your childhood. I know we are not so old to get remember. When I was a kid, I do that, but it's. I always like to remember some phases on my life, and I was thinking about that. Talk to our childhood could be good. All right. I feel oldly. All right, girls. So I will ask to you, Katiana, can you read the question number one, please, and start sharing with us your thoughts, please?
Okay, the first question. Did you have a good childhood? If I understand correct, childhood, it's infância. Is correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Se você teve uma boa infância.
Okay. I think yes, because in that time I think I play a lot. I grew up in a farm in a countryside of Espírito Santo, and I think in that time we don't have computers, television sometimes, but I remember I play a lot. It's more, it's, I, my family, it's an Italian family. It's so common. We stay together all the time. And, no, it's for me, yes, I think I have a very good childhood.
All right.
Childhood.
Childhood. I
Childhood.
I think it's childhood. I'm not a teacher, but I think it's something like that. If I'm wrong, please, girls, correct me. So you say you grow up in a farm, all right? What kind of farm it was?
It's very common in Espírito Santo. And all my family works in with farmers in with coffee.
Ah, okay.
It's so common because here in Espírito Santo, it's we have Italian descendants. And these descendants of Italians, it's se concentraram na parte central aqui da região serrana e em várias plantações de café. A minha família está no meio dessa bagunça aí.
All right. So you live something close to Terra Nostra. Ma bene, Madonna mia.
Yes, my grandmother, my grandfather, and my grandmother born come to Brazil after this first war. I think all my
Oh, yeah.
family because run of the war in Europe,
All
and
right.
it many families in Espírito Santo. It's similar born with the Italians, quando os italianos vieram para o Brasil.
Yeah, yeah, and I didn't know about that. We had cough being a farm cough farm or something like that in Spirit Sun. We always listen about this kind of farm in Minas Gerais, but it's really interesting. So you are descendant, I don't know, from Italians.
Yes.
All right. So you had a good childhood. And what about you, Amanda? What you can share with us about how was your childhood?
I had a marvelous childhood because I'm already 43. So the time I was a child, the world was different. We fight to go back to the house because everybody was on the street. I used to live in São Paulo city, so it's like not farm, nothing, only streets. And let me tell you, just go outside without flip flops, just stay all day long if it's possible. just playing with everybody and nothing, no electronic is nothing like what my son has nowadays. I never have. Actually, even television was only one without remote control. So you need to sit there and wait for your dad or your mom to say, okay, now you can see something.
All right.
So no option, go outside to play.
All right.
Was nice.
But you aren't so old than you are saying, because if you had 43, you say 43, you was
Yeah.
born on 1980. Yeah. So you
Yes.
are not so old. But you say a word I didn't know. What it means, flip flop?
Like chinelo, something like
All
that.
right, I forgot that. Okay, yeah. Now I could understand what you're saying. All right, so you had a good childhood without electronics in your life because they wasn't so common on that time. Yeah, I had to agree with you. And what about you, Aline? How was your childhood?
Was very nice. I have two brothers, so I play a lot with them. And I grew up not in a farm. I don't know the name for that in English, but a smaller farm. That
Kind of
is
un sítio or
um
something like,
sítio.
yeah.
Yes, um sítio. And it was very nice. I have a lot of fruits in the garden. I could my father in a while make a lake in our house, so we have fish. So it's very nice, and I have a lot of dogs. I have a life with very contact with nature. I think it's because of that I'm living in a place like that today. I like a lot. I think the nature it's able to calm us. I think I feel calm when I am in contact with nature. And I'm grew up in the 90s. Yes. And I was watching television. I play a lot of video games with my brothers, and I'm not a children that live on the street. I live inside of my house and play a lot in my backyard. But it was a very nice childhood.
All right, yeah, and I can see in your smile you I remember good memories, all right? So I think you had a good childhood, so congratulations. And for me, I think I had a really good childhood. Sometimes I'm talking with my brothers. I had two brothers, and with my mother and my dad about this kind of stuff, about childhood. And I think I had a good one because I live in a small city here in Paraná. And at that time isn't so how can I say isn't a city so evolved. So I had the both sides. I could play on streets like Amanda say, using flip-flops. It's so good when we can use a new word, a new word we learn. So I play on the streets using flip-flop, but sometimes I get inside my house playing in the garden with my brothers and some friends, but I had a lot of cousins, primos. So in my family, it was super common. Go visit some parent and someone from our family and play with our cousins. So I think I had a good childhood. Of course, me and my two brothers are um, a very traves, you know. And this came with some problems at some times because I didn't obey 100% my mother. So I break up my foot one time. I go to walk in the middle of a farm without authorization, and it wasn't so good. But I think I had a good childhood, and I really like to remember that time. So let's move on to the next question. Amanda, you say you usually go on the streets playing with your friends. Can you read the question number two? And I think we can share with us what kind of uh, games or activities you play at that time. Can you read, please?
Mhm. What games or activities did you love as a child? Well, most of them was with ball because most of the kids in my street was boys. So it's like was like three or four of us, and we don't want to play with dolls. So we just mix with the boys, and they don't care. They don't like, oh, it's a girl, let's go easy. No, boy, it was like
I had
face
to
to
win.
face. Like,
Yeah. Boys
so it was
like to
anytime.
win.
Exactly. Sometimes we play, well, that I don't have idea how is the name, queimada.
Yeah.
And we need to throw the ball. And it's like they don't care. It's a girl, no matter, just stop. But we don't care also because we know the
especially
same.
especially if they hit in your face, I think they laugh a lot if something like that happen.
Yeah, the kids are like that. And once they hit somebody in a place that is like hurts or the person just stay like this, it was funny. But we did the same. They did with us, but we did the same. So it's like
Yeah.
same thing. Taco, football, of course, soccer. I was a good soccer player at this time. So all these kind of things. But no dolls
Okay.
at all. I was not a doll lover.
All right, all right. Yeah, you say my favorite game, but I will keep that to share when it was my time. But I really like to play Queimada too. And what about you, Aline? What kind of games or activities you do in your farm or in your sitio?
Well, with my brothers, we build a lot of things. We build a house on the tree, a tree house. Yes, and we do a lot of, I don't know how to say that in English, escaladas. So my brother was, I don't know the name in English too, and I was to escoteiro.
A
So
scout.
a scout. So we learn a lot about NOS and another techniques, how make fire, how build a camping. So I think we build a lot of things in our childhood. We build a store for sell cans in the front of our house. So I do a lot of things. I think my family it's a very entrepreneur profile. So we do a lot of things in that way. And you wanna say something,
No,
Carlos?
no, go on.
No. So I was that not a person that play on the streets. So I didn't have that experience. But I build a lot of things. I build with my mother to a house for my dolls and my I don't know the word for brinquedos in English. Oh, this class are teaching me a lot.
Yeah, I think toys, brinquedo is toys.
Toys,
Yeah,
toys.
Toy
Thank you.
Store. Do you remember that movie, Toy Store?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, my plays were more in that way, and I play a lot of video game with my brothers too. We had a Super Nintendo.
Oh,
So,
that was a good one.
yes, I play a lot of Mario and Mickey. It was a good time.
All right. Yeah, I had the experience of building a house, a tree house. It wasn't good at all because it was, very ugly. But I made by myself with my brothers. So I had this excuse. And what about you, Katiana? How was activities or games you play most in your childhood?
I I I I'm similar with Amanda because I have one brother, and if I need to play, probably I play with the cars, the carrinhos. It's so
Yeah.
common. My brother don't play with my dots. I think dots. I don't remember the necas in English, but when in that time it's so common. Carrinho de rolimã, eu adorava. I love carrinho de rolimã. I remember one holiday, umas férias. We have one carrinho de rolimã for I think 10 kids. And when I return to my house, I'm because here the earth, a terra, it's very red, é vermelha. And all the kids is totally red with the necks and tudo ralado. But it's so good. I remember this holiday, essas férias até hoje. É muito legal. A gente botava num morrão assim, ó, e descia, chegava lá embaixo, tudo ralado. Era muito massa. I don't know how do you say in English. É, elástico because in that time as meninas brincavam com elástico. I don't know these things if we have these things in the other parts of Brazil, but here in that
Yeah.
time it's so common.
Yeah.
Peteca,
It's the
queimada.
same. Here in the south, where I live in Paraná, girls like to play elastic too in that time, so it's common. I think it's common in the other parts of the country. But you say about dirty and carrinho de rolimã, it's the same here in my city. We had a uh, red terra vermelha, red terrain or something like that. And it was the same when we go play on the streets, because I didn't live in a street with asphalt. It was a dirt street. So yeah, I always get to my house dirty and had to take a shower. And yeah, I had a good childhood, as I say. The common activity I like to play when I was young, it's a mix of almost everything you say, girls. I like to play. My favorite game ever was Queimada. I think I still like to play Queimada, but now I don't have the opportunity. I remember, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I was doing activity on the church with teenagers, and we play queimada with them, and it was the same you say, Amanda. I don't care if I'm on the church. I don't care if you are a teenager. I will hit the ball. I will do my best to win this game, because I really like to play Queimada, but I play with pular card, jump a card, a lot. Carrinho de rolimã, in a tree house, like Aline say, and a lot of other things. I remember one time we are playing esconde esconde. I know there is a name to this in English, but I don't remember right now. So I was playing esconde-esconde, and it was the rules. It was vale o bairro inteiro, you know. I don't know how to express this in English. So we start to play at 5 p.m. and we finish that game 10 p.m. And when I go to home, my mother was so crazy because it was too late, you know. But it was really fun that day. Hide and seek. Yeah, I think peekaboo. Yeah, I read listen that expression peekaboo, and but hide and seek. I never listened this expression before, but I know there is a name to esconde esconde. So this was the most common. Oh, of course, and a lot of time I go to ride on bicycle because I really like to bicycle. Yeah. So let's move on. Question number 3. Can you start with this question, Aline, please?
Yeah, let's go. Uh, were there special traditions in your family had during your childhood? Yeah, we had. I was thinking it's very hard for us identify these things that are traditional in your family because it's very common for us. So in the Easter, we pick the eggs and did a little hole in the eggshell, uh, and then we take off the egg inside the egg for this through this little hole, and we use this eggshell for and tinting that, and then we put some peanuts inside, and that was a common thing to do on Easter. And then we give these beautiful eggs as a gift for another person. I think this is the one that I remember now. But I love it to do that. Was a very nice moment with my mother and my family. Everyone was together in our table painting eggs. So was a nice moment.
Yeah, I think this tradition painting eggs is common here in Paraná, but to Ukraine, eu não sei dizer descendentes, Ukraine people, you know, uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same you say, but when you say, I remember that.
My family is from Poland and Germany. I
All
think
right.
it is a thing of the people of the north of Europe.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And sometimes we made some mistakes, you know. Here in the south, there is a lot of people who came from Europe, and but usually we say Polaco, you know.
Yeah.
We doesn't know if you are from Germany, Ukraine. Everyone is Polaco if they are
Yeah.
white, you know, and blonde hair and blue eyes for us is Polak. It's not a, how can I say, it's not a bad word, you know.
No.
Uh, I but usually they use this expression. I think I don't want to be racist or something like that. Please forgive me.
No. No, no, not at all. I am a truly Polaco because my family is from Poland, and I grew up to be calling of Polaca, Galega, and another expressions. It's not a problem for me.
Yeah, my wife really likes when I use this expression to call her, you know, oh, Polaca, vem aqui, because she is white, but she isn't descendant from Poland. I think uh, from the side of his father. They came from Italy, like Katiana family, but and my how can I say that? My mother-in-law, uh, their family came from Ukraine, and my mother-in-law can speak some Ukraine because they used when she was younger, but now she doesn't remember so well. But I my wife like when I call her Polak, so it's not a bad word, you know. And what about you? Let me check, Katiana. There is some tradition in your family?
So yes, when I all my memories with my because my grandma the grandmother of the part of my father died very young, but I grew up with my grandmother of the part of my mother, and I all my memories with my cousins, it's around the table. It's so common in the Italian family. The grandmothers make pasta with your hands, and it's so common. I don't know, capelete. I don't know if you know the name of these things. It's one pasta with a meat, or é, carne de frango, né, que chama capelete. And in that time, my grandmother put the cousins, they put the kids para fechar o capelete. And it's I think it's not it's a it's a traditional things, because all the kids remember these things with my my grandmother.
Yeah, uh, and you give me a really good memory right now. I remember my grandma making pasta by hand, and this is amazing. You know, there you can't compare the pasta you buy on the supermarket with handmade in your house. It's really, really good. And now I can remember my grandmother from the side of my mother. She liked to do pastel, but she made on our house massa do pastel. You know, it's really good. Oh, I remember. I can remember the flavor and the smell of that pastel. It was amazing. Thank you. uh, I'm getting hungry right now. And what about you, Amanda? Do you remember some traditions in your childhood, your family traditions?
Mhm. The same feeling I'm here now, Carlos, because they talk about food and I start to remember, and I didn't have breakfast actually, only coffee. So it's like, oh my gosh. Anyhow, uh, well, I didn't have a special tradition, but as you mentioned the foods, I can say it was not a kind of tradition, but for us, like in the 80s was a different moment in the economy, and my family was like poor family. We just worked to pay the bills and put the regular food at home, rice, beans, and meat. That's it. But every Sunday my mom used to make cake, and at this time cake was a huge thing for us because it was like three kids, and me and my brothers younger than me, we fight. Nowadays, I cannot think I did something like that, but we
Yeah,
fight to get the bowl with the chocolate and to eat what is remaining there.
yeah,
I'm not going to do that because it's egg and chocolate, but but we fight to get this spoon that she was putting on the oh, I forget the word, on the forma for the cake. And it was not a kind of tradition, but every Sunday we know that we have our cake, and then they fight
Yeah.
for to get
It's
this
a
cake.
it I think it's a family tradition, especially when you think about the background we had in Brazil at that time, it wasn't as you say, in the past a cake it was something special. So I think it's a family tradition,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good tradition. But who usually won that kind of fight? How many brothers do you have? One brother?
Two brothers, but they are younger than me.
Ah,
So I
yeah. So
always,
keep
even
away
if they
from
get,
me. This
I
ball
pay
is
them.
mine. Yeah. So you usually won the fights. Congratulations.
Definitely. Girl power.
Yeah, exactly. All right, girls. About me, as Amanda say, I don't think we had a special tradition in our family, like painting eggs, like Aline. But uh, for us, I think this is common to Latin American families. We like to stay together. Don't matter the reason, we like to stay together during the weekends, during the week too. We like to um, stay together, lunch, dinner. Give me, give me a day, and we will think a reason to stay together and eat together. So I think to my family, it's that, we like to stay together and eat together, make a barbecue, or sometimes we can do a pasta, like Katjana say. Um, I think this is our tradition, stay together for us is really important. So, girls, let's move on. I think I'm lost in my notes right here. And all right, let's move on to other question. And now we can jump. Uh, you can choose a random question, and I will keep this free to choose who want to start because I'm lost right now. I don't know who can start, but let me check. Aline, can you choose one question and start, please? You can choose the number 4, number 5. You can choose a random question. It's with you. I know you are on the phone, but
I
uh,
was I was reading and choosing one.
okay, no
Now I
problem.
choose. Uh, Let me see. Would you want to be a kid in today's world? Oh
What
my
the que
God.
what the number the question?
9. Question
Okay.
number 9.
Would you want to be okay?
Oh my God, this is a difficult one. Of course, I think we always thought that in our time was the best time. Now the kids are growing up with a lot of technology, with a lot of things in your mind. And I would say that is my time was better. Like a like feel a old lady. But I think it's very different to be a kid nowadays. You have a lot of concerns that we didn't have in our time. Uh, we could play freely on the streets. We could go outside. Safety wasn't a problem for us. I didn't thought about that when I was a child. But now I think if we live in a different in a other scenario, I think there is this concern, and I think the if I was a mother today, I want to be a mother. but I would be a lot of concern about how my kids interact in the internet. I think the internet is it's the word here in our hands. So I would be very vigilant about my kids are doing in internet.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand you, and I'm this way, just like you say. I'm totally vigilant what my old daughter do in the internet, and actually, I didn't want she get a cell phone because I think she doesn't have age to do that. But grandmas, they like to mimar our kids, and my mother-in-law gave to my daughter a cell phone without my authorization, and it's better don't talk about that right now. But she gave to my daughter, and now my daughter had a cell phone, so I go in there. Since I'm work with technology, I know a little bit how to block some kind of stuff on her cell phone, on her cell phone. Yeah. She start to complain. I can't use Google. I go to my friend's house and they use Google in there. Why I can't use Google? And I had to say to her, you don't have age to use Google because internet had good guys and bad guys. And of course, I don't go deeper explain to her, but she always complain about that. I can't use Google. I can't install games on my cell phone without your authorization. This is boring. She used this word. This is boring. For her, everything is boring. But I think in the future, she will uh, look why I did that. Actually, the sorry, actually, pais geralmente, usually had this kind of phrase, use this kind of phrase. When you get older, you will say thanks to me. Quando você for mais velho, você vai me agradecer. And I'm doing exactly what my mother and my dad did to me in another way. When I was young, we didn't have technology, but my mother used this phrase. My mother used this phrase at the same level I'm using nowadays with my daughter. All right. And you are grateful to your mother, to your family, to say this to you, Aline.
I think now I understand. Grateful, I don't think so. But I can understand. Oh, of course, my mother has a reason for that.
Yeah.
But in that time, I wanna do what I wanna do.
I use the word grateful because I'm really grateful to my mother, what she did to teach me and to teach my brothers was really interesting. I had a hard mom. She was tough, but I'm grateful to her because other way, I know I wasn't being here. I was a really travesso when I was young, and at sometimes I had not so good friends, and my mother was really hard with me, but this helped me to stay in a good path in my life. So this is the reason I'm grateful to had a hard mom. Oh, sorry. I'm grateful to had a hard mom. Okay, and finally, you, Kachana. Do you want to be a kid today in today's world?
No, I think I think our uh, childhood it's more I think it's more happy because now I think the kids use a lot of technology. I'm very uh, I have concern about the technology because similar with you, I think it's important the kid is running. Uh, Lost your energy, perde a energia brincando. And because with the technology, for example, we stay in front of a computer or in front of a cell phone during the day. But for me, it's not healthy, this kind of childhood. And with my daughter, for example, I am a staff mother, like your mother. Carlos. And with my daughter, for example, my daughter have a little time for use and play with a cell phone. It's 30 minutes per day. And
Yeah,
before do the dever de casa, and because I think it's more health uh, with this it's more health. Put your energy outside you because, for example, uh, we with my daughter, for example, my daughter do taekwondo, natação, ginástica olímpica, because I think in one time, uh, probably in the future, my daughter choose one of these activities and for your life because it's more comfortable stay in your home and but I think it's necessary put the kids outside your home,
yeah,
uh, parks, do the exercise, do different activities because, for example, make new friends. Uh, it's good for your mental health and I think now the most part of the kids don't have this opportunity because the parents sometimes work a lot and don't have time or don't prioritize. I think não prioriza, né? These things because you need time for do these things and you need to be a tough person for
yeah.
this.
I totally agree with you. And my wife, it's the same. Girls, we are running out of time, but I want to listen from you, Amanda. I think you didn't answer that, but before I finish our conversation, I want to listen from you. You had a little time to answer, but please go on.
Okay. It was one question, but you guys go around and say a lot of things. I forget the question. Just go back there.
Yeah,
Because it's important things about childhood.
yeah,
And we go so deep.
exactly.
Yeah, and I totally agree with all of you. Our time was much better nowadays. It's not a good environment for kids. That's why I moved from São Paulo to a small city here. And here, my son gets the opportunity to live like I used to live before. Because here, I can let him play outside ball because we have dirt here also. It's not asphalt. So he can go
Oh,
on the street to play with the dog and the neighbors. And I can stay inside my house and just listen the screen, they talk, and I can see that they are there, they playing.
oh,
São
that's
Paulo,
good.
no. It was just stay inside the building in the computer because it's not safe to be out there. And I was working, so it's like the kids didn't have option because we work so hard and we need to stay inside the house. And the
Yeah.
environment outside is not good.
All right. And I had to say you congratulations. Give this kind of opportunity uh, to your kid is really amazing. It's kind of go back to machine. It's kind of using machine time, go back. Uh,
Yeah.
this is the reason I like the city where I live because it isn't so small, but we had both worlds, sometimes my daughter can play on the street with her bicycle and playing some games with some friends on the street, but we had the both worlds right here.